So today we're gonna take and put away the snow blower. I only used it really, I don't know, like one time this year. So let's go ahead and get it ready for just to put it away, so that way next year it'll start right up. First thing we want to do is check the oil, make sure the oil level's all right. We're pretty full. It's also relatively clean. I only ran the snow blower twice this year, so it's pretty, it hasn't been used very much. And the problem what can happen is you get condensation inside the crankcase, and that can essentially start to corrode the inner components of the engine. So you know, if you're just starting this thing up every once in a while, it's good just to make sure you don't have water in there. If you do, you know, you're going to want to take and run it for a while, get it hot, let that water evaporate off. But I don't see any signs of any water, and the oil looks pretty clean. Next we'll add some Stay-Bil here. This is a pretty small tank, so you don't need much. We'll just put a splash in. Looks like the tank's pretty full. That'll help just stabilize the gas that's in there. Any condensation that forms inside the tank. The next thing we want to do is grease these two fittings in the front here. Here and here. Just with a grease gun. And my grease gun's now empty, of course. Oh, there it goes. Yep. First one. So there is, you're supposed to check, so this is a gearbox here. There's oil inside that. You're supposed to check that also. Okay, so let's take this off. This is a 9/16 wrench. In here, I already got it loose. Just take this plug off. Don't take the cover off. Just take this plug off. And the best tool to do this is, in my opinion, is just an Allen wrench. I've marked it. It's supposed to have oil in here about 2.5 inches from the top cover. So I've marked it 2.5 inches here from that point to that point. Probably can't see that too well, but I just took some permanent marker. I'll just drop that down in there like that, and sure enough, we're almost at 2.5 inches, so it's pretty good with the Allen wrench method there. So that's okay. So we'll put the plug back in, tighten her up, and that's good. You want to make sure there's oil in this. You don't want to run it without oil and have it chew up the gears inside. Tighten this up. Okay, done. So there's a few other things they actually want you to do here. They want you to take and flip this thing up on the auger section, but down here there's a grease fitting here, and you can actually see I have grease coming out. They want you to pull these wheels off and grease these axles up here. In addition, there's a cover back here on the back. This back cover comes off, and they want you to get in there and grease the gears and stuff. I've only used it this winter probably, I don't know, probably in total no more than an hour. So I'm comfortable with leaving what's there. Like I said, I've already greased all the components. There's no point in me taking all that apart, just add more grease to it. So I'm going to leave that go. Also, you can, you know, this is a good opportunity to come in here and adjust your skids. I've checked mine. Mine are perfect. I don't abuse it. But if you get into a situation where your skids are out of place, now's the chance to do that, along with adjusting any of the mechanisms here. I've checked all mine. Mine are all tight. Everything on mine's working perfectly, so I don't need to worry about that. So what we'll do now is take and start this thing up, get the stable down into the carburetor, into the fuel system. We want to do that just to make sure. So that's kind of what we'll do next. So what we'll do is we'll start this up, but what we want to do after we get it running is we'll kill the fuel here and then just let it die out, okay? And then we'll come back and drain any additional gas out of this. Okay, so there's one more thing we want to do is under here, there's this little plug right here. We want to take and open this up and just make sure there's no more gas left in there. I want to get rid of all that. Okay, and that's with a 10mm wrench to do that. Okay, so that's about it. You know, you probably should go through here and lubricate some of these joints and stuff. I keep most of that stuff lubricated with a spray grease, so it's not a big deal for me. But other than that, you're done. It should fire right up come next winter.